Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Watcher here, a YouTube channel that's about watching professional wrestling. So a big segment on Monday Night Raw. Gunther came out and he talked about his match against Goldberg. And he said he was going to destroy him, he was going to obliterate him. It's standard fare, right? But then Seth Rollins comes out with Paul Heyman and the Money in the Bank briefcase in tow. It comes out and he says he starts sort of saying he's on Gunther's side sort of thing, manipulating him, right? And Rollins is playing a game with Gunther. And the two of them go back and forth for a bit. And I find this interesting because Seth Rollins is the heel, but Gunther is also supposed to be a heel. But I think Gunther is more of a tweener now. I don't look at Gunther as a pure heel. He is a tweener. He is whatever the situation calls for him to be. Rollins, he's a heel. Pure heel, in my opinion. But then CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk fights Rollins, and Gunther stays out of the way, and the two of them fight it out, and Rollins retreats. CM Punk pushes Gunther down. Pushes him down. Which definitely sets up something in the future. I definitely think they're going to go in that direction at some point. When, we don't know, but it's bound to happen. And while this is happening, Rollins is out in the crowd on the stairs. And behind him comes one LA Knight who Seth Rollins and his group has been feuding with for a little while now. LA Knight attacks Seth Rollins from behind, and that ends the segment. Now, what's interesting about this is we're getting an LA Knight versus Seth Rollins match at Saturday night's main event. And my prediction is Seth wins. I don't know if it's fair and square, but I definitely predict Seth Rollins will win this match. Now, what's interesting is afterwards, CM Punk was angry backstage, and I believe it was Jackie Redmond that stopped him and interviewed him, and CM Punk basically just went off on Seth Rollins and went off on Heyman and Bronson and Braun, and you definitely tell CM Punk is going to be feuding with that group for the foreseeable future. But then he sees LA Knight and he walks up to him and he says, as far as Seth Rollins goes, I'm first in line. And LA Knight claps back and says, no, I'm the one who's first in line. I'm the one who's got him at Saturday night's main event. Now, where this whole thing goes, we don't know. But what if WWE and Triple H swerves us with the booking here? What if Gunther and Goldberg have a hard-fought match back and forth? And what if Seth Rollins tries to cash in? But what if CM Punk does to Seth Rollins what he did to Drew McIntyre last year at that Money in the Bank PLE in 2024 and screws him out of the briefcase, screws him out of the cash-in? What would happen if CM Punk screwed Seth Rollins out of the cash-in and stopped him from becoming world champion? Would that just not make this feud nuclear? Now look, it doesn't have to happen at Saturday night's main event. This is something that could happen at SummerSlam. This is something that could theoretically happen at any time. But, I think people are sort of taking for granted the idea that Seth Rollins will eventually become world champion with this briefcase. After all, it's sort of a story of he hated Roman Reigns in the bloodline, and now he's becoming that, right? That's the story they're telling. He is Roman Reigns 2.0 sort of thing. And he's got this briefcase, and it's, as fans, we think it's 100% certain he will cash in, he will become world champion, and he will have Paul Heyman by his side with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and maybe someone else in the future. Maybe the group gets a fifth member. I guess fourth member. Yes, Paul Heyman's included, but he's not a wrestler. Technically, it would be 5, but 4 wrestlers is what I mean there. Technically, they could get another member, right? We don't know. But what nuclear heat it would be if CM Punk cost Seth Rollins his cash in. Now, the other option would be, what if Roman Reigns himself cost Seth Rollins the cash in? I just think all the fans think it's a given. Seth is going to just take a world championship and lead this group and become, Bloodline 2.0 with his own group. But we don't know that for certain. But I definitely think this segment opens up a lot of possibilities. Now, look, I am interested in a Gunther CM Punk match. Hopefully, sometime soon on a premium live event, we will get that. Who knows, maybe a Clash in Paris. They got the Clash in Paris event coming up later on in the year. Maybe that's possible. It's, maybe the Royal Rumble in Riyadh in January. If Gunther is still world champion, he defends it against Punk. It's an option as well. But this segment leaves a lot of options here. Hopefully LA Knight gets some good booking from this too. I don't want to see him just lose to Seth and have it end there. If he's going to lose to Seth, it should be interference from Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and the feud should continue in that manner. LA Knight versus Bronson, LA Knight versus Braun. Those are 2 good one-on-one feuds that could be used to prop up both guys. Whoever he faces first, it would prop up both guys, in my opinion. LA Knight could have a great match with either of those 2. But the segment overall opened up the doors for a lot of potential storylines. But there's no guarantee Seth cashes in that Money in the Bank. There just isn't. And that's part of the fun, because you think it's going to be Punk that screws him, but it could be Roman. Either or. But that's all for this one, guys. Thank you.